I want to thank you for purchasing the Mini Invisible Deck. Now, this deck is identical to the traditional Invisible Deck. The only difference is it's half the size. You'll notice that 2 minis equal 1 full-size deck. This is great for pocket space, so it makes it a little easier to carry and less space. Now, you'll notice the box is going to be quite tight. So once you get that flap open, you'll notice that the inner flaps, I have removed them. This is done to make it easier for the cards to be removed from the box. Rather than kind of shaking the cards, which eventually you can do, I recommend taking your thumb and pushing here, which will allow you to grab the cards a little bit easier as they come out of the deck. I always keep the King of Diamonds face up on this portion. This is because the reds, I know that the King of Diamonds is even, reds are even, red kings, and that makes it easier. Now also remember, with this invisible deck, with all my invisible decks, these cards will not separate in the middle. I'm applying a lot of pressure here, and the cards will not separate. But if you go to the top, watch. Very simple, the cards separate, no problem at all. So always remember to separate these cards once you find your card at the top. The tops, they will separate very easily, but not at the middle. Now, the other thing I do recommend with the mini deck is that you remove the Joker completely. It's just extra space in the box. This will make the cards come out a lot easier. And if you remember that the kings, you know the kings are even, so when you're going to take this deck out, and you always keep that king there, you always know the even cards are facing you. So when you pull these cards out, if you need to get an even card, which has to show the odd cards, you take your hand and you cover that flap all the way and pull the cards out this way. And then it serves the same purpose. Okay? So I find that that works a whole lot better without keeping that Joker in there, because that little bit of space does make a huge difference. The cards will come out much easier without the Joker. Okay? So if you have any questions, feel free to contact us. We'll be happy to help you. And just remember, keep that hand covered so they only see this portion but not that portion if you don't use the Joker. It's a personal preference. With the regular deck, I would keep the Joker with the regular size. With the mini deck, I would remove the Joker. This is the Mini Invisible Deck. It has some wonderful routines out there. Look up the one by Michael Skinner. He has a great, one of the best routines. Johnny Ace Palmer has a great routine with the Mini Invisible Deck. They're all over the videos. I never do this trick as an invisible deck that most people do. I like to use it on occasion as an out. I feel that is one of the best ways to use this deck. Let's just say, for example, you have a trick that is a pick a card trick, and it just doesn't work for whatever reason. Things go awry, it doesn't work. And as long as you have the spectator's card and you know it, I just outright ask them, so, okay, well, what was the card you selected? And then, earlier today, I woke up and I had this premonition, and let me show you what I mean. And you pull out the invisible deck. And by doing this, let's just say that the card they selected is the 7 of spades. Well, now it's the only card upside down in the deck, and you can show the cards. That to me is a great out. It's a cover any pick a card trick that doesn't seem to work properly, or look up some of the other great routines, the names that I mentioned. You'll have a lot of fun with this. This is the greatest card trick in the history of magic. You have a magical day. Thank you so much.